So, welcome to a new episode of Proof of Health. Today, I'm talking with Chad. He is one of the a very important person in my life because he's been helping me to prepare for my first Muay Thai fight. We've been hill sprinting together. He kind of got my visualization and my mind in the right place before I was fighting. So today we're going to talk about Muay Thai fighting, about his life and his learnings. And you might have just seen his documentary about the life of a Muay Thai fighter and how brutal it actually is. And you also just saw it, Chad. Would you say this is a good representation of, your life?
Yeah, it is actually really crazy video. I really liked it, and it's exactly what I'm living every day. So maybe a lot of fighters living the same, not exactly the same life or the same day, but
Hmm.
approximately.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can say that's a really good video and good representation of what I'm living when I'm
Yeah.
training in Thailand.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy day, right? It was like
Yeah.
probably you said after this you had 6 days where you haven't been able to train because you were sick or something.
Yeah, and 2 days I was in the bed, like I just can't move.
Hmm.
It was crazy because I needed a lot of vitamins and all this kind of stuff. My body was really really weak,
Hmm.
so it was yeah, it was not the best time for the video, but maybe yes, in the other hand,
Yeah,
because you can see the struggle also.
exactly. I
Not
guess that yeah, this makes fighting I want to talk about the good sides of fighting, but also of course the bad sides a little bit later.
Yeah,
But this is kind of like just one day in your life. But first of all, I'm interested. You've done this for years. This is kind of how
yeah.
your life looked like. So. Can you maybe tell us a little bit how you got into fighting Muay Thai and how long you've been doing it? And yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's been like 11 years, 11, 10, 11 years. I started Muay Thai. It
Hmm.
really happened like, I don't know how to say it, but I was just walking in the street. Then I went to the park with one of my friend, and he just told me, "Oh, I have to present you one guy here." I say, "Okay, let's talk." And so we talk for like 30 minutes, and at the end, he just told me, "Go to Thailand
Crazy.
and you will see, try Muay Thai, and it will change your life." So before he told me this, I just had one training of Muay Thai, so I didn't know about it, and I just had one training. And I was struggling a little bit in my life, had a lot of problems, and I felt really bad at this moment. This guy told me, "Go there, and it will change everything for you." And actually, it did. It did, and now I'm still training Muay Thai, still fighting.
Hmm.
So yeah, crazy story.
Yeah. Okay. So what was it, mental things, and Muay Thai changed it because you now had an outlet for it, or
Yeah,
was it physical or okay.
yeah, no, it was 100% mental. So big mental problems because problems with school, with life, with family, with everything. So everything was really down. So yeah, it really saved my life in a certain way. Uh, I think it was the best thing I could do at this moment. Just move to Thailand, train, and do my first fight after like 28 days.
Wow.
That was crazy. Yeah, yeah.
How did this work out?
So I met Loma. So you know Loma.
Exactly. He's a trainer in Thailand and he's training champions around the world or something like this, right?
Yeah, he's doing like he's training in Australia right now,
Exactly.
and he trained me for every time I was in Thailand. He trained me, so I followed him in every gym he was,
Hmm.
and he always trained me. And so yeah, he's my main trainer. We can say like this. And so I met him. He trained me really hard, and you know, I was still in my, in my head, I had still the same problems, before too. So I had to find something else, something harder to push my limits, to go further, and to try to escape these problems,
Hmm.
And so the fight was the solution.
Okay. Is it something you want to talk publicly about the problems, or how it happened, or is it rather just you?
That's I can tell you approximately what it
Hmm.
was, but um, uh, I was in school. I did everything. Everything was great, and everything was good. And I had a problem with some papers and everything. So they just told me school is finished for you, and
Wow,
you can't go in another school or anything.
crazy.
So I tell you approximately. So it's a big story, but
Yeah.
so yeah, was
Okay.
uh was in the streets after this. Had my family, but it make like a lot of problems with family also and everything. So
Hmm.
I felt like everything and everyone is against me. We all have this kind of moments when
Hmm.
when you don't find any solution, any light. So everything is dark, and or you go really down,
Hmm.
or you try to get up and do your best, find solutions.
And Muay Thai was this solution which kind of opened up out of nowhere and was like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna try it.
exactly. So the same day I had this, so they told me, so school is finished and everything. The same day I met this guy, Jose, that I told you before.
Hmm.
It was the same day. And he told me like go to Thailand. And 10 days after this, I was in Thailand, and I was
Crazy.
16 years old. Yeah, just
Wow.
17.
Away from
Yeah,
family, all by your own,
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
learn a sport which you just had one class before.
yeah, yeah. With no money, anything, just had the tickets to go there and to come back, and with no money. So
Hmm.
Loma took care of me, and yeah, very crazy story.
Was it rather that you had like an inspiration, like that, like, oh, I can now become a champion and want to do this, or was it rather that like there was nothing to lose at home and you just were like, okay, let's go?
Exactly. So I was not thinking about being a champion or being anything or going further, but just to express my emotions uh, in the hard way actually, but it was the best way also to express it. And then years after years, training after trainings, uh, my motivation changed. So first it was like maybe passion or something like this, and then later it became my work. So you think differently. It's not the same. So yeah, then I was like, okay, I have to be champion. So that's the next step in this goal.
Hmm.
So yeah, still
Great.
trying to achieve this goal.
Let's go.
Not yet,
Nice.
but I hope soon. I'll do my
Yes.
best.
Yeah. So for the people who maybe don't know, or like you just came to Thailand, like, what is Muay Thai? Because you didn't know yet. Now you of course know. For the people who are listening who are just know, oh, it's some boxing. Can you maybe just briefly explain what are the main points of Muay Thai and what makes it maybe different from other combat sports?
For sure. In Muay Thai, you can, so it's a fighting, it's a martial art. And when you fight, or when you train your punches, you can train your elbows, your knee, the kicks, so with the shin. And you can clinch also. So clinch is to catch. So you catch the opponent, he catch you also, and you work like you can knee him on the side or in the middle. You can elbow, and you also have projection. So difference is that we can't hit when the other one is on the floor, um, and that's all. Because classic boxing, like we see often in television or Olympic games or something like this, it's only boxing, only punches. And difference is that we can use all our body to fight.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, it's kind of like I had similar a similar experience because I was going to Thailand and with the goal, okay, I want to become a fighter. I want to have like at least one Muay Thai fight, and I also came there without like doing any combat sport, nothing. It didn't take me 28 days. That sounds still crazy for me, but it took me like 6 months to get there and to um, yeah, fight my first fight. And I would say like because we talked about training now, like fight is still something completely different because it's actually a very traditional sport in Thailand, and it's very highly respected. Maybe maybe just point a picture on how the culture sees Muay Thai in Thailand, and how somebody can imagine the fight, because it's a very very special thing happening.
Yeah, fight. It's actually it's easy but hard to explain at the same time. So I just explained you all the weapons we can use when training. So these weapons we use it also for the fight. So that's one man or one woman against one man or one woman, and you just use these weapons without protection. So in Thailand, there's no protection, no shin pads, no protection for the elbow, no helmets. You only have your shirt and the gloves. So you can hit with this. So it's really aggressive and uh, dangerous sport. How you can imagine it? I don't really know. So we all see street fights. So it's approximately like a street fight, but for 15 minutes with
Yeah.
with someone who knows how to fight. So you train hard to fight one other guy, but this guy is also training really hard to fight you. So
Mhm.
it's two person knowing how to fight who fight each other.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's when I was watching my first Muay Thai fight in like in real, it kind of was like you have a lot of people betting on the side. There's like a lot of people are crazy about the sport and betting and trying to make money
yeah,
off it. That's something which you kind of don't really see. I feel like in TV or like in the big
yeah,
ones, but in
yeah,
it's like also the people fighting in Thailand, there are a lot of people doing it because it's their job. They need to do it and they earn money, right? That's basically
yeah,
also your position, right? You did it
yeah,
as a job. You needed to fight every couple of weeks because otherwise you would have not been able to eat.
exactly, exactly. So there's the betting side we don't see because officially it's not you can't bet in
Hmm.
Thailand, but everyone bet. And and that's a crazy part in Muay Thai because in a stadium there is like uh, a quarter of all the people here who bet, and it makes a crazy, crazy, the crowd is crazy, become crazy. And so when they see mm, one guy winning the fight, so they bet a lot of money on this guy,
Hmm.
and it gives some pressure to the fighter because
Hmm.
like there's a lot of money on him. So if he lose, all these people lose the money, you
Yeah.
know. And if he wins, he also get like a little bit of money from them. So it's a
Okay.
motivation. So sometimes they come to your corner. Okay, if you win this fight, I give you 5,000 baht, 10,000 baht, or you know,
Hmm. Hmm.
more and more. If it's a big fight, you can go
Yeah.
like with big amounts.
Yeah.
So yeah, betting is really crazy in Muay Thai.
Is there like some, are there some like I just know from boxing, I don't know if it's similar in Muay Thai. Are there like a lot of fights being fixed in before being like, oh, okay, you're gonna lose in the third round or something? Is this something or
Yeah, so you mean corruption? There,
yeah.
there is in every sport, you have this, but in Thailand also, when there is really big money, you know, sometimes, but you and me, we will not see it. So
Hmm.
it's Thai people see it
Ah, yeah.
when you really know the in the how you say that. Yeah, it's like secret, but only a few people knows that this guy is going to lose,
Yeah,
you know?
it's inside
Or
job kind of.
yeah, it's like they tell you like, okay, if you get knocked out in the third round, we will give you like half a million baht, you
Hmm.
know? And half a million baht or even 100,000 baht is a lot for Thai people, also for us. So it's a salary, it's a big salary. So yeah, some people just follow the money
Yeah.
and they get knocked out or they lose on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. So
Yeah.
you went to Thailand 28 days. How did your first fight go?
First fight was really hard. In the third round, he broke my nose.
Oh shit.
So it was really my beginning. Beginning. I just started to train Muay Thai.
Hmm.
So you know how your Muay Thai is after 28 days.
Dude, mine was so bad. I just watched like back.
Mine was worse. Like I really have no talent in Muay Thai, like zero talent. My only talent is my motivation and um, my determination. I train hard. The only talent I have. But yeah, so first fight was really hard. I got kicked in my face and my nose just broke, go on the side. You know, so like I told you, I was struggling at this moment. I had a lot of things in my mind. So I was like, okay, I don't have anything to lose. So he didn't knock me out with this. My nose broke. I went to the ropes, and the crazy story is that I punched my face in the other side. So my nose in the other side, and I put it back. So I lost a
Crazy.
lot of blood. It was crazy. So my first fight, I broke my nose. So and then
That's
for
crazy.
8 years, I couldn't make the surgery here in Switzerland because of like it's too expensive, and
Hmm.
you can't prove that you make an accident in the street or something. So
Hmm.
yeah, so I did all my career with a broken nose,
Crazy.
so it was really hard. Yeah, but yeah, first experience is really crazy. I lost on points
Oh.
against a heavier opponent. Like in the beginnings, they don't really care about the weight. They just check your body. Okay, you look like this guy. Okay, you can fight. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's really savage.
I mean, it's pretty good for 28 days. So for the people who don't know, losing on points is basically in Muay Thai. Every round you have like, how do you say? What's the name of those people who count? Uh, Referees.
Judges, referees, or
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, judges exactly, and they count continuously, right? It's not every round. It's not there's one winner for one round or not. It's like different hits get different points. Maybe you can explain a little bit how the pointing system works. So,
yeah. There's so I don't really know about it because it's proper to Thai judges and referees. But I think kicks make more points. Kicks to the head makes even more. than punches, and they look at everything like your balance, your aggressivity, your technique. If your style is like beautiful or not, you know. If your style is shit, like it don't look like clean, you know, you can lose because of this, you know. If the other one is more stable, more, you know, more clean, it changes a lot of things, you know. So yeah, the more you hit your opponent, the more you will get points, and the more aggressive you are doesn't mean that you will win, you know. You can be really aggressive, but the other one can block everything also, so you don't make any points. And in the other hand, if you're not that aggressive, but you touch every time you kick or you punch or you elbow, you will get a lot of points. And yeah.
Mhm. I want to jump into training and preparing for a fight because fight is looks always nice and it's like, oh holy shit, I'm watching him fight, but that's like the public phase of doing it. And with the documentary we worked on together, I kind of wanted to show them how everything behind it looks like. And I also experienced this, like, there happens so much when you try to train for a Muay Thai fight because the stakes are just so high. I remember you telling me in the beginning, because I don't know if you remember this actually, but when I came the first time into your dude, you like it was we talked about fighting, and you were like, first of all, questioning like, hey, why do you even want to do this, because it's such a hard sport, like what are your motivations, which I guess you just wanted to figure out why I want to do this and not have the wrong motivations to just go into the fight, right?
Mhm. Yeah. So if we talk about the motivation, it's really important because, you know, fighting is hard. You can play, like I told you, you can play football, you can play tennis, but you can't play Muay Thai, you know. Uh, my last fight got like 33 stitches in only 2 minutes of fight. In the two first minute, I got opened with elbows and he broke my nose. So yeah, you have to consider this. Why am I fighting? Uh, am I ready to sacrifice and give everything uh, for a fight? Is it worth it? You know, because actually, the people who want to fight in the beginning, they're not fighting for the money. They fight for the experience. Like, okay, I'm training hard, but I want to experience it. I want to understand why I'm fighting like this, you know? So, yeah, I often say to people, like, just don't fight, you know? You don't need to, you know? It's really cool to train hard and to be strong and healthy and in shape, but why do you want to fight, you know? But I don't tell you this since the beginning. I tell you this since the few last fights, because the more I fight, the stronger the opponents are, you know. And I really feel the pain, and it's really really hard, you know. You face someone at the highest level, and he's just here to destroy you, and you're here to destroy him, you know. So yeah, are you ready to give and sacrifice everything for this? Is it worth it to get hurt, maybe break something, and in the worst situation, get in the coma, get knocked out, get in the coma, or in the worst way possible, die?
Yeah,
So you have to consider all of this.
that's great. Yeah, you told me one card you've been fighting, someone actually died, right?
Yeah, you know, the day I fought, also you were here.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, the body, you can be really strong, you can train hard, and you can be, you know, your body can be really strong and hard, you know, but we still really weak, you know. If you get a kick with the shin in the neck or in the face, you know, it can be really really bad, you know, it can hurt you really bad. uh, or we often get kicked in the ribs, so if
Yeah.
ribs
Yeah.
break, it's okay, it's hard, it's painful, but it's not you recover in 2 months, 3 months, it's okay. But yeah, in the worst case, you know what can happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, it's really important when people ask me or tell me that they want to fight. I always ask them why you want to fight. You
Hmm.
know, what's the motivation, and I'm I can tell them this to not fight, but in the other hand, I'm fighting, so I can't tell them don't fight. You know, I just give them my point of view of the situation, of my experience, and what I'm experiencing till now.
Yeah, so I think because all of those questions you asked with like why what are the motivations and explaining that is basically dangerous, I think there is a nuance to fighting or not fighting. And what I saw, for example, in Thailand, there are like two kind of people who want to fight, and there's one people who just do it like, oh, it's a hobby, I want to try it here and there. And then there's the other person who are like, okay, I want to dedicate everything I'm doing every day to it. And um, I would say it's like it only changes so much in your mind and so much of your life if you do it properly. So what do I want to say about this? Because it's such a dangerous sport and the stakes are basically so high. When I was there and you talked with me about it, and there were instances where you showed me knockouts and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to see this." But you were like, "No, that's the reality. Look at it. This is what can happen." And by just looking kind of this danger into the face and taking it so seriously, I think what happens, the spiritual change, what a lot of people say when they have their first fight, it's only happening if you look at this first fight or this, what you're doing, with the mindset that I could die in there and I need to prepare so much. I need to get over my comfort zone every single day. I need to to train like you do in the video, because the stakes are so high and you need to see it as there is another man in the ring who wants to basically kill you and hurt you
Hmm.
as much as
Hmm.
possible.
Hmm.
And I think only when a person is in this mental state and can work from this, then I would say, okay, you can fight, you understand it. But all the other people who are just like, oh, I want to do it for fun and so on,
Yeah,
they will probably not even go through this uh, introspective of going through all the fear even during the training, which is leading up to the fight.
yeah. Actually, you know, training is really, really hard, you know. So people can experience the how hard the training can be, and they think like the fight will not be harder. So we often say, yeah, train hard, fight easy. You know, like you can see in the video, I'm training really hard. Like I struggle a lot during a day of training. You know, so yeah, at my level or a higher level, um, it's when you go fight, it's not the same feelings than when you start fighting. You know, when you start fighting, fighting is actually a lot more dangerous and harder than the training. You know, so yeah, it's important for me or everyone to show that okay, this can happen when you fight, and do you accept it? Are you ready for that in the worst situation? You know, for me, I am ready to accept uh, everything that can happen in a fight. You know, but I'm ready with this mindset. You know, I'm okay with this because I know that this is the worst thing that can happen to me. So yeah, we have to think about all of this and danger and everything. But yeah, it's martial art. It's really beautiful to see, uh, especially at high level. You know, when everything is clean, it's not messy. You know,
Yeah.
so it's beauty in the aggressiveness, in the violence.
I think you touch on something which I was experiencing myself. So the last 2 weeks going before the fight, it's kind of like, okay, there's no going back anymore. You're kind of going in there, and it's um, what happened to me is because the fight and this aggressiveness of training represents, maybe let's put it, the dark side of reality. It makes the other part of reality even more beautiful, because suddenly I was driving home from training after a hard sparring session or whatever, and saw the sunset, and I was appreciating it so much more than ever. Or like just walking through the city, and I was thinking, oh, those people have no idea how hard reality can actually be, because I, in my mind, was like ready to die in the ring. I was like, oh shit, this, I need to enjoy it now. And there's like this kind of yin and yang feeling which is happening, where like, because you tap in such a dark part of life, you're also experiencing the other side of life in such a beautiful way, and you're just like, oh, look at this bird, this is beautiful. And so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, when you're ready to fight, like the fight is like in 10 days, 2 weeks. I mean, the trainings are also the hardest, you know.
Hmm.
That's the hardest moment in the training because they really push you to the limits and you go further, more than the limit. So, yeah, you know that you can't do anything harder in your life at this moment. You can't be like in this like dark side you just told before, you know. So it make you experience everything in a better way, you know. Like everything is cool, life is beautiful, flowers, birds are beautiful. So yeah, you look at life differently because you're
Yeah.
ready to die. In your mindset, you're ready to die. You are going for like something really, really dangerous and hard, you know. You don't know what can happen. So yeah, I think it's unconscious, you know, but the body knows that he will experience something really, really difficult, one of the hardest thing you can experience in life, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's a good point that
Yeah.
you said.
And when people would ask me what happened after fighting the first time, or I think it even happened before. Like the fight is not really the thing which makes the big change. It's even like those 2 weeks or 10 days before, where like your mind changes, and it's just like all of the problems you normally have, and you get anxiety, or you're like, oh shit, what is happening with my job, or all of this is like nonsense, because it those are not real problems if you look at it from this perspective, where your problem is that there might be a elbow coming your way, breaking your nose and opening you up for 32 stitches, you know?
Yeah, so like you said, like every problem you have, you just forget it. It's still here, but you forget it because something harder or more difficult is waiting for you, you know. So it's, I think it's unconscious, you know. Everyone experience it when the fight is approaching. But yeah, now I'm thinking about it, and it's exactly the same. It's exactly this feeling, you know. I don't think about anything. I know that in 1 week or 10 days, and still at my level, I know that yeah, next week I will fight with someone who will fight me also, and he knows how to fight. He will hurt me, I will hurt him. So yeah, nothing has that much importance, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Is it it's maybe you have a way to explain it, because it's, for me it was in the beginning I was afraid, but then it changed once you accept the fact that you just might get hurt and it's part of the game. So, but I don't know if like now if I would go to a second fight, I would just assume that the fear comes back again. Is it like when you have a fight, are you afraid? Is it just respect of the other person, or what emotions are happening in the background?
I think if you don't feel those kind of emotions like fear or stress or anything, I think you're not normal. You should go to the hospital or psychiatric or something, you know.
Yeah.
Even when you're at high level, you know, we can hear in some podcast, other podcast of champions and everything, they all feel stressed and fear because you know you will get hurt and you will hurt someone, you know. So yeah, mm, you know, it's also not that good to punch and elbow and hurt someone, you know. You also can feel bad for the other one, but it's your job, you know. So you know you have to hurt him and he will hurt you.
Yeah. That was actually one thing for me. I thought like I'm normally I would say I'm a like in like a good person, and I always was like, oh shit, I won't be able to hurt somebody else, because even in sparring before that, it was hard for me to go like full on because I was like feeling the other person. If I like hurt him, I was like, oh shit, are you okay or good? And that's kind of like because you're fighting with friends. And when I got into the ring, the first like 20 seconds or something, I also was like, it wasn't conscious, but it was like, oh shit, can I hurt him or something? But then I got like he hit me. The first hook was in, and I was like, holy shit, now it's real, and now I like happens
Yeah,
automatically. It's like, okay, I need to hurt you now. Like there's like this instinct which is just primal in you, this survival instinct. Okay, I need to fight for everything now.
yeah, that was actually a big problem for me because I'm also like in my personality, I'm kind and you know pretty calm and
Hmm.
everything. I don't want to hurt anybody, but you have to disconnect of this feeling. There is no kindness in the fight during the fight. So there is respect uh, before the fight, between the rounds. So that when the round finish, you just check him and you go to your corner. And at the end of the fight, there's a lot of respect. You know, so you hug your opponent, or you know, you tell him like, excuse me for the pain or for this fight or everything. But when you're fighting, so the 5 rounds of 3 minutes, there is no kindness. You have to be aggressive. You have to be not. I would not say bad. Someone with bad intentions, but yes, actually, you know, uh, you have to hurt someone. You have to hurt him. If you don't hurt him, he will hurt you.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, you have to disconnect about this feeling of kindness and yeah, can I hurt him? Can I go hard? Can I, you know?
Hmm.
So for maybe my 21st fight, I couldn't go at 100% of my power because of this, because I was thinking too much, you know, about it. But then I understand when I got cut or when they broke my ribs or break my hands or everything. So you think differently.
Yeah. If you now that you know that, do you have any advice which you would give your prior self to help yourself with that? Is there anything like, I don't know, mental, is it mental work you have to do, or is there anything?
Yeah, we often talk about meditation and everything before, but I don't think it's the best way because it will make you too relaxed. You will be relaxed, but too much. You know, it's
Hmm.
not that good. You have to you have to disconnect, but by yourself mentally. You know, so you have to visualize the fight that you will fight in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes, it will be your turn, you know? And you have to tell yourself, okay, I will hurt him. I will
Hmm.
hurt him. I will hurt him, you know? I will go hard. He will feel my power. So, yeah, we can say it's you talk to yourself. Like some people uh, talk to themselves, they say affirmations, or, you know, uh, I am pretty. I am. I am strong. I am rich. Or you know. So that's
Yeah,
the affirmation we can see in a lot of videos on everything. So in personal development or anything like this, and it's the same way when you will go to fight. You have to talk to yourself and to put in a state of mind that okay, I will destroy this guy. I will hurt him. He will be hurt. He will feel a lot of pain, and that's hard because when you're kind, you don't want to hurt anyone. But
yeah,
that's the job. That's what you choose to do. So you have to do it 100%.
yeah. Yeah, and like I feel like that's what you kind of also need to figure out in training in a certain degree. So what I figured out in way you also helped me is like the thing that in the ring you are all by yourself. There's no one who can save you. There's no one who is there to motivate you. Like if you think that the crowd will push you up when you're in the ring, you basically already lost because you need to figure out how to get this internal energy and put yourself in a state that even if you want to quit, because I wanted to quit after the second round already. Like it's like everything starts, you don't have breath anymore. It's like, and then it's like you need to tap into this weird modus where you're just like functioning and disconnecting from the body and just like yourself know, okay, I can do this. I can. You visualize the next round. You're like when you're sitting there, you're like, I'm not gonna be the one giving up. And I feel like this is the training which happens when you're so afraid of the fight, because then it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna do the full 4 minutes at the back, no matter if I feel shit, I need to do it. And that's where you build all of the stamina, and that makes a difference where you might be able to win or overcome all of this hardship happening in the fight.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. So you have to self motivate. You have to motivate yourself because you're alone in the ring. It's not like football. You have 10 other guys in the same place, you know, with you. They can talk to you. They actually in the fight you have your corner. So you have your trainers and maybe friends or family who talk to you. But you know, when you start fighting, you don't hear anything.
Yes.
Neither the crow, nothing. You just hear nothing. It's like you how you say deaf. You
Yeah,
know?
it's like a movie. You just see, not even the like, you just see your opponent and you see him like, I felt like very detailed. You're like, you see a lot way more because you're so alert. Like it's kind of
Yeah,
like, yeah, but you don't hear anything. You forget what they tell you in the corner. Like Ben always told
yeah,
me, give him leg kicks, leg kicks. I never did a leg kick. It's like,
yeah.
yeah.
It's like being in the water, and you know, so you know that feeling when you're in the water, so you
Mhm.
hear nothing, but imagine a shark is coming in front of you, so you
Yes.
you clearly see the shark, and you hear nothing around, you know. And actually it's the same in the fight in the beginning, you know. So when you have more experience, you can hear every word of your trainers without hearing the crowd, you know. So that's the crazy thing. So yeah, first you have to get the motivation alone because you're alone, you know. It's like one lion against another lion. It's fight, you know. So when you feel really tired, really bad, it hurts, and you want to quit and everything, uh, you just have to remember how hard the training is. That's why we push really hard in the training. They tell you to kick 50 times. Like you're like, why I would kick 50 times in the fight. I will kick one time full power or two times, you know. But it's to push to your limit and to accept that you are to your limit and to push more and more, you know. And it's to create this feeling in the fight that, okay, I'm done, I can't do anything, I have no power, I'm dead, I can't breathe, I can't do anything, and
Yeah.
he will kill me, you know. And so it's at this time that you have to motivate yourself, okay, because nobody will do it for you. They will push you, okay, go 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 go, but if you don't help yourself, nothing will be like, uh how we say, nothing will works for you.
Mhm.
So yeah, you have to say, okay, I'm dead, but he's also dead. I am tired, but he's also tired. It He hurts me, but I also hurt him.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just okay. I feel the pain alone, and I'm only me. I'm the only one who's tired, and I'm the only one who's hurt and everything. Because you are two in the ring, actually. You're
Yeah.
alone for yourself. He's alone for himself. So yeah, self motivation is really important, and fight
Yeah.
helps you to grow. You know,
Yeah.
it helps you to be strong mentally. Yeah, physically for sure, but especially mentally. You can push further, and then it helps you for everything in life. You know, you do the hardest job in the world actually when you're fighting. So everything else, every struggle in your life looks like easier.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this mental change is really kind of interesting to me because I think you like there's this theory that basically back in the days, man to become a man, they needed to go through a trauma period, which is like they are afraid um, for their lives and need to fight for their lives. So they took like the kids when they were 13, 14 away from their mom, put them out in the wilderness. Like this is like way before civilization. And the people talking about this, there's like this theory that basically now, because we don't face those challenges anymore, most people don't are not able to build this mental clarity and mental fortress, which basically why a lot of people now want to fight, because they want to be like, okay, I need to put myself into this position again to just learn what you just said about or told us about.
Yeah, so okay, maybe some people will not like what I will say, you know, but uh, fighting makes you grow as a man for men, you know. It makes you like really, really, really stronger mentally. But there's also women, so it makes strong women, you know. They
Hmm.
don't fear like the other women's, like 99% of all the people in the world, you know. And what we can see uh, in our generation and this all these last years is that people become really weak, you know. People become really weak, and yeah, uh, yourself in this position, so fight position, in these hard moments, m- makes you someone stronger mentally, physically, and everything, and stronger than, like I said, 99% of the population. So we can find this hard moments or hard mental position in other things, but one of the hardest is the fight. You can find it maybe in the experience of like losing someone. You know, it's not only physical, you know. You can lose someone to makes you stronger. You have to accept it and everything. Maybe some people or experience death, maybe when they swimming or you know, but it's only for a small moment, you know. When you fight, you train every day. Every day you're living something hard. You know, when you train, it's really hard. 6, 7, 8, 9 hours a day. You know, every day, every day, every day. You can just be strong. You know, after this, and running 10, 15, 20 kilometers a day makes you mentally strong. Because physically, yeah, okay, maybe you can run more, you have more stamina and everything, but it trains more your mental than your physics.
Is it sometimes, do you have phases where you because you're basically, what the life of a fighter is constantly out of the comfort zone. That's like you're always trying to get out there. Do you have phases where you go back into the comfort zone, or is there anything happen, like let's say you have a week where you just eat ice cream and so on? Is this something ever happening in your life, or is this just not the reality?
Maybe some people find excuses, and so that's when you find excuses that you go back to your comfort zone. You know, you're like, okay, today my feet hurt, so I can't train, or you know, so the trainer said, okay, just stay in your bed and come tomorrow. But that's an excuse that you find for yourself, you know,
Mhm,
and it makes you weak.
mhm.
It breaks this mental work, you know. So yeah, sometimes I really struggle. I feel really bad, or maybe I broke one ribs for during a fight, or my feet is broken, or it hurts a lot, or my hand. Uh, and when I wake up, I'm like, I can just miss this training if I want, you know. I can just tell my trainer I just can't, you know, and he will say, okay, come tomorrow. But you can't. You want to be a champion, you want to to train your mental to be someone better, you have to stay in this outside of your comfort zone every time, every time, every time. So that's Muay Thai life actually when you really into it. So yeah, yeah, you can go outside, go back to your comfort zone if you find excuses for yourself. You were talking about ice cream and everything. I don't think it's part of this. Of if we can talk about comfort zone or not, you know. I'm training every day hard, and I eat what I want actually. Okay, I should follow a diet or something, you know, clean, but I I'm open with this, you know. If I want to eat an ice cream, I will eat an ice cream, you know. I don't want to frustrate myself because I didn't eat what I wanted to eat, or you know. And
Yeah.
between the trainings, if I want to go to the beach, just chill and take the sun and swim a little bit and relax, it's also part of the training because you relax for the next training.
Mhm.
So yeah, you go in a comfort zone, then to go back in a outside of your comfort zone, but in a higher level.
Yeah. It's kind of just preparing to get back in outside again, kind of.
Exactly, having good moments is really important. You know, I think having good moments who makes you really happy is really important. Then you can push yourself a lot more outside your comfort zone. You know, because you know what's waiting after this. Like you can go back to your ice cream, you can go back to the beach, or you know, you can have good times with friends or family. It's really important because we only human. Actually, we have to we have to live. Also, it's not only hard moments, only bad moments all day or all your life. You know.
So, so I think everybody kind of needs to figure out probably his own motivation, because we talked about it before, like how you can stay constantly outside of your comfort zone. Did you what was the thing which changed for you to be able to do that? Like, is there anything effective hack where you're saying like, okay, this is how I figured out that I am able to always push, always push?
Actually, I think it's the goal you fix to yourself. Okay, I want for myself, I want to be the champion. I want to be the best. So I know that to be the best, I have to push myself a lot more than everyone else outside of my comfort zone. You know, because I have to be ready for the fight, for to fight someone who's in the highest level. You know, so yeah, it's my motivation is to think that I will fight strongest people. So I have to push myself in hardest moment, and I mean it's logic. I think it's logic. For myself, it's logic. Maybe people will say this guy is crazy or I don't understand. You know, for me, it's logic. If I want to fight harder and strongest people, I have to put myself in the worst positions and situations. Then I don't find excuse during the fight. You know, it's really easy to get knocked out uh, during the fight and just be like, okay, it's okay, it's I'm done, and I don't I don't want to fight anymore. You know, and nobody will tell you anything. Like, okay, it happens, and yeah. But the when you get knocked out or knocked down, and you want to fight more and more, you have to be ready for this. You know, you have like you have to have experienced this bad position before the fight. So during the training, okay, I know what it is to be to feel like shit, to feel like I can't do anything, and okay, I push myself and I will do it even if I can't. You know,
Yeah.
I I feel like I can't do anything more, but I will do it anyway. So that's what makes difference between I think a good fighter and a champion.
Mhm.
Okay, uh, the the way you thinking when you get in bad position during the fight and
Mhm.
the way you react to it.
It's like it's not about what is the Rocky quote again? It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and get up again. Something like this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's hard when you get knocked down. In my last fight, I got knocked down like 3 times, you know, and my head was like this. I was blind for a few seconds. I couldn't breathe. I had a lot of blood in my nose. I felt like everything was opened, you know. So here, all open, my nose,
Hmm.
here, you know that you're in a bad position.
Hmm.
But yeah, you have to go through the hell
Yeah.
more and more, deeper and deeper and deeper. But in the other hand, uh, it's really hard because you know that you got hurt and it's bad for you, you know, for your body. It's not only about pain; it's about physical damage. You know, it opens, your nose is broken in, you know, and on the side, and you have lose a lot of blood. So yeah, that's why it's really dangerous, and you have to accept that you will be in this situation. You know, in the worst situation, you can be like this. So where you can get this strength to get up and continue the fight, it depends of how humble you are about your training and how true you are with yourself during the training.
Yeah. How is it like? Because you said it is basically hurting your body. You're basically destroying your body to a certain degree. You could even say. Um, is there, because it's your life? We talked about this before. that like you kind of need to be ready to die mentally in there. Is there ever a point where you said like it's enough, I'm gonna stop, or is this already not part of your thinking anymore and it's just like either the referee is gonna stop it or I'm probably like getting knocked out or dying in there?
Yeah, no, I'm ready to risk it all, you know. When I'm in the fight, in the ring, I'm okay with everything that can happen, you know. For sure, I will do my best and try to not get knocked down or knocked out, but I know it's part of the game, you know. It can happen to me and to the other one. But outside the fight, outside the ring, during the training days and everything, yeah, for sure. Sometimes, you know, we all have uh, bad moments, or, you know, when you think about just stopping everything and like asking yourself, why am I doing this? Is it worth it? Uh, am I okay to like get hurt more and more, get big damage in the body physically, you know? So yeah, that's the question you ask yourself. But I think it's important because when you ask yourself this kind of question, you really know and understand what you want to do. You know, it's yes or no. It's not. There's no between. You know, okay, I know what I want to do. I know where I want to go, or it's too much for me. I think it's the the point I have to stop and to, you know, to not get hurt more than what I already get hurt. So yeah,
Okay.
that's the struggle
Yeah.
in Muay Thai life.
Yeah. And also one thing which is kind of absurd is like the the highs and lows in living this life are like are on the extreme of the spectrum. Let's say you have a fight and you win. You're basically the king. Everybody's loving you. Everybody's like coming to you, wanting to make pictures, and it's like everybody's proud of you. And but then there's also the other side of it, which is normal to the sport, that you basically yeah, lose. And it's like it's this part where you're alone after the ring. You go alone there, your trainers say like, oh, everything is good, but there's like no one really cares about you, you're the loser. So like how is it like how do you deal with losing? Because it's such a big contrast to winning, and I think it can be pretty hard.
It's really really hard, especially at higher level. You know, uh, I think I'm always saying is that um, I I I have to fight, and win or lose, I don't regret anything because I know that I did my best during the training. I couldn't train harder or do more. So then I can't regret anything during the fight. But there is, yeah, like you said, when you win, everybody is happy for you, you happy, and fiesta for everyone. But when you lose, you you alone. You feel really lonely. You know, it's really hard to get through uh, uh, losing. You know, uh, the trainers and the close friends and yeah, the people with you will say, "Okay, it's okay, no worry. We all lose. It's part of the game. Next time you will do better." You know, but you're still experiencing your emotions and your feeling at the moment you lose. You know, and it's really hard because nobody can help you to recover from this except you. So it depends of how you look at the situation. Okay, when you win the fight. Okay, everything is good, and you don't uh, look your fight after the fight. I mean, you don't look at the fight the same way than when you lose. You know, when you lose a fight, you look again your fight. You like you check every mistake you you made during the fight. Every second you focused on, okay, I should, yeah, I should do this instead of this. I had to do this. Okay, why I put my feet like this? Why I punch like this at this moment? I could do this, So yeah, you learn a lot more from losing than from winning. So sometimes, I don't know if it's good to say this, but sometimes it's good to lose to understand your mistakes, and you get better for the next fights. It's like my first fight this year. Um, I lost by knockout. I got high kicked and I lost, and I felt really bad. But after this, I felt like, okay, it's really good that I experienced this for the first time, because now I know what I will stop to do, what I should not do. So the three next fight I won, the two fight after this I won by knockout, first round, and the third one I won also by decision. And this first fight I lost helped me a lot to win my three other fights. To change my mind and my way to see the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like uh it's like a learning on steroids, because it's like with Muay Thai it's also with pain, and pain is a very very good teacher. That's like, I felt like that's what I learned in the sparring sessions, when I was sparring with people. And there are some people who spar very hard, and it's like, okay, you learn, for example, after the fight, after my fight, now I know that my guard was just totally shitty. I was totally fucking it up, but I was feeling it, and now I know this is the thing which I would need to work on to do it. So I totally get it.
Yeah, exactly. And I told you during your fight,
Yeah,
like, keep your hands up and breathe, because you were not breathing, and your hands were down, and you get punched every time.
yeah,
So yeah, experience, and that's why it's good sometimes to lose or to get punched hard or to feel the pain, because like you said, pain is the best teacher. You don't want to experience the same pain for the next fights, and you know so you will find solution uh, to not experience this again.
yeah,
So yeah, when you got your hands down, maybe it's good for you for your next fight. Like, you will be like, okay, if I don't get my hands up, I will get punched, maybe get knocked down, or in the worst
yes,
case, knocked out.
yeah. But the thing is, like, it's so easy always to see it in other people, but I was only realizing once I saw and editing the videos. It's like, when you are in there, and also with sparring, actually, I learned so much by just filming myself and then watching it, because it's so different. uh like, the trainers that, or everybody else sees the things, but you, by being inside of yourself, it's so hard to see the things they see. So I actually learned a lot by doing this 6 months, and I always was watching how I was sparring and so on. So this was like one thing where, when somebody wants to start fighting or wants to prepare for a fight, that's my advice I would give them: like, film yourself, look at yourself, because it's so different than how you feel internally.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like the fight. You're fighting, you only see and experience what you're seeing, in front of your opponent. But outside, so in the corner, your trainers, they see a lot more than what you're seeing. You know, that's why they're here actually. To tell you, okay, you have to do this, you have to do this. He don't check your kicks, so kick more, kick, kick, kick. Okay, he don't like when you punch him, so punch him and then elbow him to finish. And that's the thing you don't see in your point of view, you know, but they see it from outside. So it's exactly the same when you film yourself. It's you take the trainer position, the point of view, you know.
Exactly.
So you see what you're not seeing at the moment you sparring or you fighting. So like you say, it's really interesting to do this. It's a really good advice we can give to people who want to start, or actually also for professional and big fighters. It's really
Mhm.
important for everyone to see yourself sparring or fighting.
Yeah, maybe let's dive into um, some advice which you would give people. So just before that, my training totally changed by surrounding myself with other fighters. So before I was at your tute, I was in another gym where like there were not a lot of fighters, and I thought that I was training hard. But then once I came to your tute, I was like, oh, okay, this was kind of less just vacation. So one thing I would add into this is just like find the right people around you who already have been fighting or like are pushing you over this limit, because I was new to this. I didn't know where the normal limits of fighting are. So that's something which I would add. But of course, you have uh, done this way longer than I. So maybe.
Yeah, I would say if you're beginner and you experience your first days of Muay Thai or first weeks of Muay Thai, uh, don't go hard like we can go as professional or as fighters. Just go slowly. Find um, your rhythm. I would say, like, go slowly, slowly. Let your body rest enough, uh, let your body recover from the other trainings and everything. So maybe go for one training a day when you start. So I'm talking about Thailand actually, because
Mhm.
there's two trainings a day. So go for a first training or the morning or the evening, and then slowly you can add another training during the day. So yeah, go slowly, slowly. That's one of my advice. And the other one will be um, ask to people around you. So stronger people. You can ask fighters actually. Ask them questions how to improve uh, your technique or how to uh, change your mindset when you're training or when you're fighting. You can also ask to the trainers. It's really important to talk, you know, to communicate in everything, actually, in life also. If you don't communicate, you don't have informations. You know, you have to go and take the information by yourself. It will not come to you like magic, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just go slowly first and then ask questions. Uh, okay, how can I do this better? How can I do this better? And that's the best advice. And have a lot of rest also during trainings. Drink a lot of water because you will sweat a lot. And eat good food if you can. Yeah, that's some advice for beginners, I would say,
Hmm. Okay,
or someone
that's nice.
who want to discover Muay Thai and to learn more about it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you don't
So.
need to do the fighters training. You know, you don't need to go for 10 kilometers run the morning and to train 3 4 hours the morning or what. You know, stop when you feel like you have to stop, and just don't go hard as fighters or professional or anything. You know, that would be just ego, and that's not good. Step
Yeah,
by step, then you will improve.
yeah. Sounds good. So what's upcoming for you? How do you see your career happening? Where are you right now? How do you envision your future?
So actually, I had the chance and the luck to fight in Rajadamnern for my last fight. So in RWS, and it's cool because it's one of the most prestigious. event in the world in Muay Thai. So it was a great honor for me to fight there. Um, my last fight, like I told you, I got 33 stitches and the nose broken. So directly after the fight, they took me in ambulance to the hospital, and I got the surgery and everything. And I stayed in the hospital for like 3 days.
Oh
So it
shit.
was yeah,
Crazy.
really hard. Yeah, and it was my second surgery, no surgery in 1 year. So they told me it's my last chance. So I have to be really careful for the upcoming fights to not break my nose. Because
Okay.
after this functional surgery, I can only do aesthetic surgery.
Hmm.
So when you do aesthetic surgery, it's end of the career. You just have to stop, because you can't make your nose 10 times.
Yeah.
You know?
Crazy.
So yeah, they told me that I showed a lot of hurt during my last fight. You can see in the video a lot of blood in the beginning of the video. They told me that I showed a lot of hurt and they want me to fight again to this event.
Oh. Hmm.
And I I was really lucky and happy to hear this, because when you do your first fight in Bangkok, it's really important to, like, you can't miss. If you miss your first fight, it's hard to go back,
Hmm.
and fight there and everything. So you have or to win, make a good fight to win, or show, I think, a lot of hurt, and that's what they like to see.
Just so the people who don't know it, showing heart means basically that's how Thai trainers say that you have like the right mindset. That like even though you're basically being, as you see in the video, he was pretty hurt. It was exactly what Chad talked about. That like he has 100% conviction, and he didn't want to stop fighting because he was hurt, like feeling hurt. That's like the one thing most Thai people, and especially those promoters, see in fighters, is that like they're gonna keep fighting no matter what, and really put like their lives, or like put everything to the line. And that's what Chad means with that he showed a lot of heart during that fight.
Yeah, it's really important. You show them that you're not you're not giving up till the end. Even if you're in the worst situation, and actually it was for me. I was in the worst situation possible, but I was still thinking like, okay, I have 1 minute left. I can do something, Maybe I can knock him out. Maybe and that's when you have to show hurt. So that's when you have to go deep, 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 and to find strength when everybody think that you don't have anything left. So that's why it's really important to believe in yourself and to push yourself a lot, um, more than your limit. So yeah, so they like when you show hurt, and they told me that, okay, go back home, recover from the surgery and everything, train hard, and come back.
Nice.
So the goal is for me. So now I'm in Switzerland. I get back in Switzerland because I see my family and everyone. It was 1 year I've been in Thailand, and I have to go back in army also in December for 1 month. So after this, I think maybe in January or February, I will go back in Thailand for a long time and just continue my career and try to fight at the highest level possible. Train even harder than everything you saw in the video. And yeah, still trying to fight better and be better day after day, training after training, and try to improve myself as much as possible and fight in big events, and yeah, try to make more money.
Yeah, I mean, it's your job. That's a reality, right?
The job, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to fix yourself objectives and big goals. It's really important. Then you know why you're doing this and what you're going for.
So for the people who watch this, watch your documentary, and want to join you on the trip of like maybe becoming a champion, trying keeping training, where can they find you? Where can they follow you to, yeah, join you on that journey?
Uh, Actually, they can find me on Instagram. So maybe you can write the name or
Yep.
something. Um, I'm I'm posting sometimes my trainings and everything. It's just starting, you know. I'm not famous or anything, but slowly, slowly, step after step by step.
Yeah. You're focusing on the training. That's like
Yeah,
there are people also in the gym who like want to show off their training and it's always filming and so on. But the reality, if you want to become a fighter, especially when you're not at the top yet, is like you prioritize just the training. You don't really post a
yeah,
lot because it's just mental work and you need to focus on the training.
yeah, exactly. So, you know, I trained for 10 years really hard, but in 3 months, in 2 or 3 fights, it can change everything, you know, for me. It can change all my life. So, yeah, in only 1 or 2 fights, if I fight a champion or someone famous or something, and I beat him, I can get famous like directly after this. So yeah, it's all these years of hard training and hard moments to get a little bit of glory, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No, it's impressive. Yeah, and like thanks for helping me through my journey of this journey getting into a ring. You helped me a lot, and yeah, thanks for sharing all of the thoughts.
my pleasure.
I think a lot of people can probably learn a lot from you, and yeah, I have a huge respect how you've been holding this up, and yeah, and I hope we're gonna see each other soon in real life, hopefully soon.
Yeah, I hope so, bro. Thanks a lot. You know, I really had pleasure to share you my experience and to help you because when I started, I was only with Thai people and nobody was talking to me or helping me. Only few guys, but not like I not the best way for me, I think. So yeah, I try to share my experience as much as I can to the people who really like and put enough effort during training and everything. People who show me that they really want to do it, and you were one of these people. There's not that much people, but a few one uh, are different. You know, go in a different way, push themselves a lot more than everyone. And so that's what I saw in you, and that's the people I want to surround
Yeah,
myself. You know,
yeah,
only people with good mentality and positive and stronger mental. You know,
yeah. Thanks.
it makes me stronger.
Yeah. Again, it's so important to surround yourself with the right people because yeah, they have such an impact on your life, and whatever you do, if it's business, if it's fighting, the people around you make you. So yeah, I think it's a good learning to really be very uh like careful who you associate yourself and who is in your, yeah, close circle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all about energy. You know, if you all in the same energy uh, for one goal, same goal, you will just improve a lot faster.
Yeah,
So yeah, for me it's really important. Be kind with kind people, respectful people, and yeah, try to be the best version of yourself at each moment.
yeah.
So yeah,
Cool. Yeah, for the people who are just listening to the podcast, make sure to watch the documentary to see what we've been talking about because just talking about is different than at least, first of all, living it like Chad does it, but the video does a good job in like giving you a glimpse in it. And yeah, so tune into the next episode of Proof of Health. Thanks for joining us and make sure to follow Chad. And
yeah. Thanks everyone. See you.
see you. Bye bye.